Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the international. I just forgot for a second. Shame on me, the name of the tournament. But we're here. Brain fart aside, this is Navi versus Complexity Gaming. Two of my favorite team, and I'm glad they're facing off against each other.
You know, Lumi, I'm going to take a page out of your book of a long time ago in a galaxy far away, like 2 months ago. You slapped me on the wrist for not bringing up hype into the cast. This is Navi versus Complexity for the international, man. Let's get excited for this. Invoker will be the ban. The ban's really coming out quickly here. Trying to get my bearings for this game. Darkseer, the big hero that I'm seeing available right now. Complexity love that hero, but they have second pick, so I doubt they're going to leave it in the pool. Profit available as well. I'm excited, man. We finally get to see Navi for the first time this tournament. Hopefully it won't be the last. But as far as I can tell, they have been having some struggles in this event.
Yes, they have. I don't want to spoil any results of any matches, so if you want to follow the Navi games, you could have your heart ready to be shattered as you follow those games. But for now, Complexity Gaming, which has been red hot lately, walking into tournament, they've been screaming, they've been playing a lot, and they've been winning a lot. Still on their last ban though, but I have high hopes for Complexity. Don't be surprised if they do kill is a very strong word. They do beat out Navi, because Navi has shown to be not immortal like they used to be.
We'll see. It looks like Dendi is officially Chuck Norris now. He's got that avatar selected, so if they need a superhero to give them strength, well, it's not only Chuck Norris, it will also be the Darkseer picked up. I'm very curious how Navi will lay in this one. A lot of the times with Navi, I think they run it as a jungler with Puppy handling it. Of course, Light of Heaven could put it in the offlane quite well. It's all going to depend on the rest of the draft, but more so than other teams, Navi is not afraid to throw Darkseer in the jungle. Profit is the counter pick from Complexity. They get something good to start it off. What are they going to follow it up with? All of TC's big heroes are available, but first, we stop. We turn our attention towards Hannah Montana. His Tidehunter secured. Great team fight here already with the Prophet ult, the Tidehunter ult as well. But can they match a Darkseer? We'll find out, but it is never easy.
Yeah, Hannah's been very familiar with this hero, playing it on the long lane. He's being made fun by his teammates about feeding on that Tidehunter quite a bit, but you know, of course, all in jokes, he does play it very well, and positioning is the key for both this team, but it's hard to position yourself against Darkseer. It's just really hard. The AoE of the vacuum is so large. Of course, Surge allows himself to basically zig and zag through the team fight and cast wherever he needs it to cast. Venomancer is the third pick here, or second pick for Navi. Navi is known to pick up this hero very early, right? There's some games they just first pick Venomancer. In this game, they pick it up early as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a great hero to pick up. It just gives you so much versatility. Great at anti-push, always a nice choice versus Prophet. Good initiation with the snare. And then they get a Leshrac to sort of round things out. So now they have a stun, and Gale can set that stun up. You don't need something super reliable that's an actual stun. Gale is your reliable slow, very strong slow, sets up Leshrac nicely. Navi, no idea what they're going to pick as sort of their carry or their core farmer. Leshrac could fill that role. I'm not sure I see Dendi's hero just yet, but there's plenty of options left in the pool. For me, though, it's Complexity. How are they going to lane this? How are they going to run their team? So often it revolves around TC. What is he going to get? Low Druid was banned. Tiny is available. But this is a tough game to make Tiny work. You're up against Surge. You're up against Gale. A lot of ways to kite Tiny. A lot of ways to dodge around him. With some good support, maybe he makes an impact. But what are you thinking for TC? Is there anything on the board that they could have their eyes on?
I think TC is such a versatile player that you don't need to draft his heroes too early. We definitely see him from the good old carries of Morphling or whatever else, and then go to things like even a Tiny. So I think you could actually pick up his carry somewhat late and then just gauge as the situation progresses. I feel like one thing that a lot of players don't realize is there's a lot of versatile carries out there. I mean, even if such as like Void, well, as I say that, you can pick up Morphling. But Morphling being a very versatile carry on its own right, could do a lot of stuff. You pick up the BKB early for early game aggression, or you pick up some, Manta Sal, Scotty, if you want to go for some late game play. But for now, it is the Morphling.
Yeah, it is the Morphling, and as much as Tiny can be kited, Morphling will have no trouble escaping from this Navi squad. Sure, you've got slows, but Waveform really is the trump card that TC can play. Now they have amazing... I mean, they've already got the lockdown from the Ravage, they've got the Prophet Ultimate. Now they have that hero that can weave bob his way in and out. Bob and weave his way, I mean to say. My tongue getting twisted as well here. This is only number 4 out of 6 matches, so we have a ways to go. But yeah, Morphling can bob and weave his way in and out of the fight, finding the pickoffs. Venomancer Leshrac Very squishy lineup so far, as it looks like Lumia is going to be doing a little construction work in his room, but don't worry, we'll have that all settled. Shadow Shame gets a ban. Man, has this guy seen a resurgence, not only in the Chinese scene where he's been, and the Asian scene where he's been very popular as a support. We saw MTW run him as a solo hero earlier today, and now it's Navi banning him out against Complexity.
Yep. I can't read too much about this ban. One thing that Shadow Shaman, you talked about Chainsaw, you talked about his laning ability. Of course, is a great pusher, and perhaps Navi wanted to protect their early tower, but usually it's Navi the team that is going to be the aggressor, and it will surprise me here. With the heroes that they have, they won't be the aggressor against this lineup. And of course, drafting accordingly, this is perhaps why we do see Morphling being picked up so early. He is such a difficult hero to kill, even for Navi.
Yeah, Navi has some great burst damage, primarily because of Leshrac, and that's the one thing. If you go for shotgun and Leshrac is big enough, that shotgun can actually be flipped around, and suddenly you're blasting off your own watery face instead of the amorphous, ethereal face of Leshrac. So we'll see what kind of a Leshrac it's going to be. I'm really curious what Dendi's going to play this game. Maybe Windrunner, she is still available. Or maybe Pudge. Okay. So Darkseer Pudge combo, we saw CLG, man. They ran that to perfection in the Beyond the Summit World Tour Finals, but now we see it again, and this is the most successful Pudge as far as big-time international Pudges go. It's probably, I'd be very shocked if it's not. Almost certainly going to be Dendi's Pudge.
I think we're about 5 minutes into the cast, and in the chat I already see Oppa Dendi in all cap. Let's all bring it together, guys. Oppa Dendi! Oppa Dendi! It's gonna be a good game, you know it. Oh man, I'm super excited. That's the cool thing about Navi. Sometimes they play a normal game and they'll beat you straight up in a normal game, but other times when they feel the need to do so, they'll just bring out a Pudge, and we do see the immediate respawn from Fluff and stuff. You need the Vengeful Spirit for the defensive swap or for the stun straight up against Pudge. And this is probably the best support you could pick up against that.
It's a Clinkz for Navi as the big carry, probably going to be played by Havos. I'm thinking Beastmaster here is the final pick for Complexity. They already have their Vengeful Spirit, they have the Tidehunter, some great team fights, some great initiation if they get the levels up, and that Roar would be real nice to have, whether it's to run away, whether it's to set up kills. We'll have to see what they want to do. That would give them 2 melee heroes, kind of a clunky lineup if that's the route they go. Not the most mobile. They have a Morphling with Waveform. Swap, in theory, gives you some mobility. But really, if Pudge gets on top of Complexity, they're kind of screwed right now. So maybe something like Beastmaster to get them some lockdown, or maybe just another mobile hero that's difficult to track down. Yeah,
what we've been talking about so far is Pudge's killing ability, but what we haven't touched upon is how that fits well against Navi's strat. Navi's like a team that likes to get up on you early and fast and get up those items, the mid-game tier item, and really push fast and hard. When you throw a Pudge in that kind of situation, every kill he gets, basically, he makes Pudge himself such a tanky force in the mid-game that you don't even have a chance killing, and it's going to be a Visage. We've seen Team Complexity done this in the past. It was not successful last time I seen Fluff and stuff run this. Maybe they're going to try it again, but this is a very powerful tri-lane. Ice Mike's going to be playing the Venge, and it is going to be Fluff, but look at the killing power of this tri-lane. Waveform, Magic Missile, Soul Assumption. That's a lot of damage right from level 1.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the tri-lane. The last time they ran it, it was an off-lane, or it was a suicide lane, offensive tri-lane, featuring a lone druid being played by TC.
Yeah, that wasn't beautiful. That wasn't, yeah.
And let's not forget, that game started off with Complexity feeding 3 kills off the bat to level 1 March the Machine Tinker. Man, my memory's improving with these games, just a touch. But yeah, this tri-lane makes a lot more sense. Much more synergy between these heroes than having a lone druid. And we'll have to see if they can make it work. My big question is, will they run it offensively? Will they be going for some pulls? I mean, Visage and Venge can benefit from the farm, but normally you get these heroes, especially the Visage, for the early kill power. Let's introduce the players. Fluff will be on that Visage, as you mentioned. It will be TC handling the Morphling, going for the early rate of Basilius. IX Mike, playing that support Vengeful Spirit, has the Sentry Wards picked up, maybe worried about that pull camp getting warded, maybe wanted to kill off the Clinkz early. We'll see where he goes with that. Hannah Montana normally playing the offlane. He's on the Tidehunter. And back at the base, it is Jo with a massive Super Mario-style Flower Staff of Doom.
Here on the Navi side, your champion of TI2, Havos, walking in with that Clinkz. We haven't talked too much about this hero, so we'll talk about it in just a bit. Light of Heaven handling the Darkseer, Puppy on the Leshrac, and it's Dendi on that Pudge. And lastly, Arzart handling the Vengemaster.
We'll talk about Havos Clinkz later, and that definitely merits discussion, but can we just spend a moment, whether it's in silence or just in awe, of the power of Darkseer Pudge? If you haven't watched the CLG finals. I believe it was Game 2 versus IG for Beyond the Summit World Tour. Go watch that match after the action is done today, or at least once he caught up with your International 2, because the Pudge Darkseer combo is out of this world strong. It's not just Surge for Pudge, it's also the Ion Shell, which means Rot plus Ion Shell, everybody just dies instantly. And it's actually going to be a solo mid Pudge, so he's not going to get that protected farm we saw for CLG. Who's he going to be laning against? It's a Prophet. This is not a bad matchup for Pudge. Hannah Montana takes some damage. Split Earth is going to hit. I don't think they have enough to kill him, but doing some good harassment. Trance coming in to try and help Hannah Montana out. Ideally, they'd like to pull the wave back for him, but I have a feeling these Trance won't be there in time to do it.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. They're a little late to the party. But for now, both guys are walking the lane. I think we have not introduced ourselves yet to the player. I am Luminous here, and of course, casting alongside with me is LD from Dota Commentaries Icon. But that's enough introduction as Fluff and Stuff drops a ward and begins to harass against Light of Heaven. All they really need is a start with the Magic Missile. The waveform will come in, and the damage will be rained down by Fluff and Stuff.
Oh, Puppy, I don't know if you caught this, Lumi. He just split Earth down the tree line so that he can pull the small camp in. This is one of those special tactics that we've been sort of wondering if teams would bring to bear. It's a small little trick, but this allows Puppy to pull safely. It avoids having to pull in that standard lane. I think it would work fine to pull bottom. I guess the main thing is he can stay near Dendi on the Pudge and set up ganks on Jo. Once Dendi hits level 3 or so, pretty interesting stuff, something you don't see a whole lot of. But it's the tri-lane. Gale is going to hit on IX Mike up top. Where is the damage? There you go. Ion Shell, easy first blood. Claimed without. This is a tri-lane, but guess what? They have a Darkseer. First blood goes to Navi.
Oh man, that's absolutely rough against a tri-lane. Tri-lane is designed to kill or prevent farm, and that one move, not only did they not kill, they died, and it gave a lot of go to that Darkseer. A great rotation from Navi, and that's exactly what they hope for, to see the Venomancer on top. Venomancer distracting, prevent the stack, preventing this pull. Look at how much work Arzar's been doing. His number is not going to be high on the scoreboard, but he's doing so much for his team right now.
I really think Complexity is better off not trying to contest this lane too much. Just do the double pulls, pull to the safe camp, pull even to the small camp over here. Avoid those clashes, especially after giving up first blood, because once you get one, you just can't stand against Darkseer as these support heroes. Morphling will be absolutely fine. There's really no way they're going to kill him unless he really screws up. So to me, they probably shouldn't try and contest the lane as much. Just go for the pulls. Waveform. Who actually got the big creep there? I believe it was TC.
Well, the bot lane here, Edict doing a ton of damage. Splurf, that's going to hit for sure. Hannah gives a second kill up in the game, and suddenly you could arguably say that 2 lanes for Complexity has been lost. The question remains, how is Jo doing on mid? He's got 6 creep kill against Dendi's 11, 12.
Not enough. Not enough at all. Even if he was breaking even, it still wouldn't be enough. And bear in mind, Puppy is not only ganking, he's also pulling, he's jungling. They're getting more experience despite having arguably the best hero for giving you the laning options and the advantage, that being the Prophet. It's a solo mid Prophet, has not joined the fight yet, could be the X factor, but with Light of Heaven and Rstart getting that early start, it's going to be real hard to do so. Dendi getting a kill, and Dendi has not really gotten on the board yet, but he's getting the farm, and if he's able to get a kill on Jo, which could come soon, that could be big trouble. Yep. Navi, like you said, winning 2 lanes and arguably winning the 3rd.
Yep. And of course, on the top lane here, Complexity choosing to make it go right now. Fluff and Stuff nowhere nearby, but Surge just really takes that one out of the equation. This is what Light of Heaven and his hero could do. It is absolutely broken, I want to say. Back on the mid lane, Dendi still thank you. Back in the mid lane here, Dendi still getting his work done. He's looking for that level 5, but even without level 5, he could start being extremely threatening with this hook combo at level 2.
Right, forget about the fact that Prophet is a ranged hero. That hook does so much damage. Although Jo has a lot of stats, that will help mitigate some of it. If Dendi hooks him, and especially with the level 3 hook, that will be a kill almost certainly, rotting Jo to death. Dendi might not be able to dive the tower, but even if he doesn't get a kill with hook number 1, it's top lane though. Magic Missile onto Rstart, Fluff and Stuff, 3 charges towards the solo substitute. Look at the burst. They get one. In comes the TP from Jo. No, it gets cancelled. Now he comes in, resets, reloads, goes again. Where is that TP? He's still not TPing. Finally a 3rd time, and Fluff's like, no man, I got this. 2 kills getting claimed. Meanwhile, bottom lane, big dive onto Hannah Montana. Puppy, Edict damage, no Split Earth just yet. Will it be enough? Perfect Split Earth. They get the kill. Havos claims that. Free kill, and Boots being picked up. Your high farmer of the game. Navi still getting kills left, right, and center, even though they give up a couple top. They're getting Havos the good start, and Clinkz, maybe it's time to talk about him now. If he gets the good start, he can be real hard to deal with.
Yep, fast Orchid really allows him to gank all over the map and just basically be a complete nuisance to Complexity. Complexity either have to go as 2 or 3, or they are just going to die. And going as 2 or 3 means you're not going to get a lot of farm. Leshrac destroys the tower with the help of Clinkz on the bot. And you can see that Clinkz already Ring of Aquila boosts the speed. That Orchid is soon coming. Unless Havolt decides to go for some crazy item.
Right, whatever he wants to go for, he's getting the early items. Also, once you hit 6 as Clinkz, this really accelerates your farm and your damage potential. Death Pact allows you to eat big creeps, so if your lane's ever being pushed, if there's aggression, tuck away into the jungle, farm there safely. It just really opens up so many options, and crucially, he's about to hit 7. That's where he starts to get very scary. You want 1 point in the strafe, you'd like to max Skeleton Walk, but Clinkz is not a hero that needs all of his skills maxed out to really contribute. He can start to do big work. Really at this point in the game, and Puppey knows it, he's looking for a split earth, he's looking for a kill. In fact, up on the top side of the map, it's Complexity doing the same thing. Both teams biding their time, the patient predators waiting to pounce.
I just love the top lane here. You can see that both heroes on both teams are standing right next to each other's observer wards. So they both see each other, and nobody can actually make it go. But now with the tower tanking the creeps here, you will see Ix Mike running straight down. If he finds a magic missile, that could be it. There's a magic missile. The waveform a little bit too far off, so they're not going to die for it. But the vacuum really breaking Ix Mike's ankle over there.
I like to point out that Navi has a Pudge, a hero that can offer so much when he ganks, and he hasn't had to leave his lane yet. Like, oftentimes you'll see, especially in pub games, Pudges are forced to leave their lane because their team is feeding or having trouble. Pudge is not, he's not going to benefit too much from the farm, but he gets his core items up, he gets his bottle, he gets his boots, his magic wand. He's going to have that maxed out hook, and then if Dendi joins the fight, he's going to be a much more fearsome beast than he would have been if he had to leave the lane now, or if he didn't get all those items up. Navi just winning all their lanes, this means Savos can farm safely. Complexity pretty much forced to try lane. If anyone leaves, TC can live versus these two, but anybody else will die. Bottom lane, Puppey goes in for the backstab. Hannah Montana, split earth, is not going to hit, or maybe the Kraken Shell just instantly removed it. It looked like it hit. Either way, he takes the fall. Navi finding kills everywhere they want, and look how many fans they have, 5,200 to 1,000.
Yeah, Complexity, man, gotta support them by having those pennants. This game is not, I mean, it's big lead for Navi, but I think Complexity easily turned this around. I mean, TC right now, it's got 29 CS in 7 minutes, definitely pretty good. And of course, this Charlie's killing powers there. Fluff and stuff got 2 easy kill off a single magic missile, so they could definitely set up some on the top lane here. Oh, magic missiles, all they need. Oh no, Vent's just not quick enough. And for now, they'll hurt on the tower a little bit more.
Yeah, Hannah Montana not having a good time, but this is not Kabu's Tidehunter, where he's level 1 at 7 minutes in. He is getting some levels. Once Ravage is up, Complexity as a team, oh, the hook! Long range hook from Dendi. Fluff gets picked off. TC waves in. They want to turn this one around. Looking for Light of Heaven, the last right click. It does the trick. 1 for 1. A Dark Seer for a Visage. Honestly, not a bad trade, but not if there's another hook. Dendi finds it. 2 in a row. He's heating up. This could be trouble if he gets hot. Oh boy.
Opa Dendi! Opa Dendi! Oh my god, these hooks! He shoots and he just doesn't miss. Now, this is a good time to talk about Dendi missing hook. He tosses a lot of hooks. He has high frequency, but to want to be improving as a Pudge player, you just keep throwing hooks. And to get this good, you keep tossing them, And Dendi right now giving Pudge players all over the world some hope. This is a competitive worthy hero, and Dendi's showing that right now.
Uh-oh, he wants Ix Mike, he's gonna find it! Gets another kill, and no response for Complexity right now.
That was a blind hook. He saw he saw the Venge walking up with this observer just a tiny bit, and that was such a blind hook. My goodness, Dendi is too good at this moment. But Complexity, they gotta be poised. Pudge is gonna get a couple of kills against you, whether you like it or not. It comes down to ganking that Pudge, making sure that he has to pay for those kills, getting those towers, and let's see how poised Complexity is as they're looking to push this bot lane.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm real glad I have Dendi on my fantasy team right now, at least with the way this Pudge game is going. Off to a fantastic start, 3 kills, hitting level 8, has his earn, has the boots, 800 gold in the bag. But Complexity, like you said, need to stay poised, and really, I don't think there's a better team in terms of maintaining their composure. Oh, I've seen them play from behind many a time, really solid eternally, very Chinese in that respect. Dendi taking a lot of damage mid, but he is going to earn up. Should be okay. Navi looking for the tower trade. Puppey has managed to hit level 6 despite roaming, doing all sorts of strange pulls. Magic Missile is going to hit. Creeps tanking up the tower. Surge, and then Light of Heaven blocks him in. A little bit of a troll there, but in the end, he'll make it out okay. Looks like bottom lane, the tower goes down, but they're not able to defend mid. Or are they? Hannah Montana, only level 5, still not 6. Boy, they would love a Ravage right now.
Pudge, he's looking the hook, he has a sight, is he gonna go for it? He sees, he's waiting, he's gonna hit on Jo. Jo does have a mega, very slow dismember here from Pudge. A rare mistake from Dendi, and now IXMite charges ahead. He sees Pudge, he really wants to go for him. No, he thinks better of it and back off for now, but nothing lost by Navi. They didn't get the tier 1, but that's absolutely fine. They drew multiple teleport scrolls, and they're going to go back and farm a little bit more. TC even had to TP in for this. TC 44 CS 10 minutes in. You want to be at around 55, so TC unfortunately unable to get as many creep kills as he wants.
Look at the wards to set Dendi up. You know, you talked about how he doesn't even really have good vision of that bench. Still finds the hook walking in from that top rune. But now wards being placed on the hill. Or not even on the hill, between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, in front of the tier 1. I love the hill ward. It really makes defending the tower difficult. Dendi hooks again, narrowly missing, but you gotta know, when you see hooks just popping out of the fog, barely missing, that is not a comfortable position. These supports will be playing scared all game. Dendi thinking about going uphill. They need Ravage. Gale hits on 2. The rod, the hook. Hannah Montana dismembered. Will take a fall, but Dendi will too. And IXMite, Jo's mech could be the difference maker. Arsar dropping low. Luff dropping low as well. Luff will survive. Nope, it looks like that's going to be the end of the engagement. So they actually kill up Dendi, who buys back for this. Immediately comes back in. It is a level 9 Pudge. Doesn't need too many items. Also is a big contributor. Not a bad buyback, but can he make anything happen? He will! He will!
Jo, a greedy farm from low ground to high ground. They're wondering, how the hell did they see me right now? A lot of nukes being dropped. Puppy on the front line side, ball eating. Pudge hook cooling down. He needs the angle. He finds the angle. He's gonna hit again here. Pudge connecting with the big hook. Probably gonna die a second time. No. Gets surged back out. The gush not gonna be enough. And now TI Hunter perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Dendi earning himself, getting a little bit of bottle regen up. Oh, that pesky bird will be blocking. And Dendi for now. I mean, people are calling rage buyback in the chat, but there ain't no rage. This is all calculated, all control. Dendi dropping wards deep. It's gonna hook a TP on Jo. What a play! Another kill from Dendi. And now Complexity does not have to Ravage just yet. Hannah poke his head in. Another hook will soon be followed. Creeps doing a little bit of blocking. Dendi hits another one. That's yet. And how many hooks has he hit this game? It felt like 10 hooks so far. 12 kills. How many assists has Dendi has right now? Just 2, because he's been getting most of the kills after those hooks. Insane play from Dendi.
I find it fitting that after the CLG game, you were saying Dendi who, and Dendi's like, Dendi me, man! Dendi me! He did buy back, but buybacks are so cheap, and again, even if he doesn't get kills, it's not like TC is farming. He's picked up his power treads, bottle, wand, rid of Aquila, but nothing big. No Ghost Scepter, no Eagle Horn, no Yasha, no BKB. TC is a long way from being able to contribute. And even then, he's going to be squishy by nature. And that really plays into Navi's strength. They have a lot of burst damage because he's probably going for the Ethereal Blade. I mean, maybe he won't this game, but whatever he goes for, there's always Dismember to hold him in place. Navi in such good position, and the aggression will not stop for a moment's time.
Oh, Jo right now. He's so close to death, and he does not know a Treant being sent up here on Scout. Dendi's Invis is up halfway done. And, he's looking. I mean, one of the easiest things about casting Dendi's Pudge game is you just keep your camera on him and you don't miss kills. So I'm ready right now. I'm good to go.
Camera control, what's that? Just double click on that Pudge avatar and don't move away for a second. I also want to point out, Pudge has a swag back. He lost his hair for a little while. Dendi even placing down some wards for himself, and he's looking towards Hannah Montana. Getting this warding is so key to playing Pudge. I mentioned it briefly earlier, but now he's in perfect position, and zoning back those supports means easy tower to be claimed. Probably. Prophet thinks about TPing, and that would probably be a disaster. Is he really going for this? The hook on the fluff, dismember. Where's that Ravage? Hannah wants to get it off. Does get it off. Hits on 2. Waveform over the top. TC gets 2. Or sorry, gets 1. Pudge goes down. No buyback. Light of Heaven as well. Look at that soul assumption. Big damage, and now Puppy, a supportless Shrek, but looking for some kills. In comes Habos, trying to clean up. Habos doing some good damage to TC. The birds come in, not actually going to find anyone. So when it's all said and done, It's a 3-for-3, but a Ravage was used to get that even trade.
A 3-for-3, and a tower on the tier 1 went down as well, but very fortunate for Complexity. It was Morphling that got a lot of kills. Fluff and stuff, trying to run away. The birds doing a little bit damage. How did he see him? How did he know? How can he saw me? There's a dust being popped right now. Havos man fight, turn around, kill. High level play from Fluff and stuff. Wow, that was blind. There was no wards. Man, we've been talking about Dendi right now, but Fluff and stuff also expert plays.
Wow. Just at this point in the game, you stop trying to analyze it. You just sit down and appreciate the individual skill of everybody in this game. You know, not just the Pudge, although Dendi is by far the most impressive player thus far, but even those support heroes. A blind stomp from the bird, that takes some serious anticipation and composure. How many players would miss micro there and accidentally move their hero back into the Clinkz, not control the bird properly? Probably like 99.9% of the Dota community, and a decent chunk of pros as well. Dendi, haster it up, Magic Missile is going to find him. There's no way they kill him. Dendi already 8 Flesh Strength charges, plus 7 Strength, and that will only go up once he maxes out Flesh Heap. He's looking good, man. He's getting real tanky, and this is why Pudge doesn't need that many items, because of that Flesh Strength ability.
Right now, looking at the fact that 1700 gold lead on the Radiant side, same thing with EXP. I just want to say Complexity still have that poise. Look at the amount of warding being popped up on both sides. All the wards on the dire side of the map. But Complexity, a lot of teams would have just gave up at this point. The Pudge is just so fat. But they're killing the Pudge a couple of times. IXMite out of position. IXMite will be dead for sure. They want to focus down on Puppey instead of Live Heaven Earn being dropped. Pudge in position to look for those hooks. Angling and not finding it. But for now, the slow siege happening. One thing we haven't talked too much about is this Havos. He's got his Orchid finished, and the backstab will now commence.
It's just so easy to play that support hero, right? Or that carry hero right now. Dendi, I mean, we talk about creating space for carries. This is one hero, which means the entire area around your tower, you really don't want to cross this line, or you're probably just going to fall down and die. It's just the zoning potential for Pudge is so unlimited. TC, still finding some farm, 2100 gold. But this is a game where I'm not sure it's going to be enough. I mean, sure, you get the Ghost Scepter. That'll help you deal with the right clicks of Clinkz, but there's plenty of nuke damage to counteract that. Smoke in the base, the only area really that's not warded outside of the base. So Complexity, this is what they love to do when they're behind. Smoke gank to try and get back in the game. Finding a kill will not be easy. There's a tanky Pudge, there's a Clinkz who's hard to catch, and a Darkseer with Surge. Even the supports of items are start getting close to mech. 1700 gold on Puppey and a point booster. And will they even fight anyone? It's not looking like it.
Well, Fluff and stuff cannot be the person that's leading charge. It has to be IXMite or the Gush from the TIE Hunter. So, Fluff and stuff, I mean, he has a slow, but so yeah, they're not going to find anybody. So again, a very expensive smoke gang. Navi perhaps sensing what's coming. You can see Dendi and his team, they're just playing defensive. They know something's up. Too many heroes is missing off the map. And now Complex says, alright, if you're not going to fight us, we'll try to take a Roshan. And if they could steal this Aegis from Morphling, that could be pretty big.
Well, can they really, though? This is a very dangerous
fight. There's a DD rune on Morph.
Yeah, it looks like they might be able to. Gush wasn't used. Yep, minus armor onto Roshan. Pretty good. They have a decent team for doing this, and then more minus armor from IXMite as well. Navi doesn't seem to know this is happening. This would be a huge win for Complexity. If they get it and get out alive, will they get out alive? Looks like maybe just in time TC picks it up. Nothing. The Venomous Plague Ward was placed by Venomancer to try and deny that Aegis, but not there quite in time. TC gets an Aegis, everybody escapes. They don't even lose a tower. Complexity sneak one in on Navi.
JO teleport on the top lane, being scouted by 2 wards and a creep wave at the same time. Not where he wants to be. Havos already in position to teleport out. Oh man, the map awareness from Complexity is right now too good. Too good.
Havos did get something out of that Roshan. Apparently, according to the spec chat, he stole a TP scroll. So
alright, calm down, guys.
Definitely worth an Aegis. No problem there. Havos just going to eat one of the creeps, anything to get his damage up. They're going to knock down this tower. And this is one of Clinkz's big strengths, is he is great at mowing down towers, especially with Leshrac here as well. Everybody from Navi runs in. There's the hook, and only finds the replicate. So many things here in the way for Navi. Up TPM from Jo. Sprout on 2. Huge Sprout, put the vacuum in. Ravage is going to hit on 3 or 4. Great there. Puppey probably going to take a ball. Hook bag on Fluff. Maybe not the hero you want, but he will get something. Fluff's going to take a fall. Well, everyone on Navi trying to run that poison over, doing big damage. They want Arsart. Wave in. TC looking for another kill. This would be 3 in exchange for 1. Will they find it? Meanwhile, Dendi, he finds Hannah Montana. He picks him off at TC. still chasing for Arsart. Light of Heaven surges him back. Light of Heaven runs the other way. Light of Heaven still doesn't have any boots. Gale is going to miss. Ward block attempted. Not going to find it. The magic missile on the Light of Heaven. This chase to the Benny Hill music, because goddamn, they were chasing a long way. That Ion Shell almost gets 3 kills. In the end, gets none. Complexity defend. It takes a Ravage, but they get a big fight going their way.
That was a big defend, but Dendi and his team get yet another tower. IX might walk into that hook. Oh, playing support in this game is just absolutely the most difficult job. You have to go ward. You have no item. You're constantly being hunted by this big fat man. Oh man, it's just not a good thing. Not a game where you want to be if you're playing support.
Seriously, Dendi? I mean, seriously? Just give them a break. This is brutal. As an American, I must protest against this picking on my nation's one of my nation's teams, but I give Dendi the credit, man.
Which amendment was it? Is you should not have cruel and unusual punishment. This is amendment number 5. This is Constitution being violated in Seattle. Someone called the cops.
Deport him immediately. That's what I say.
There you go, man.
Dendi is playing so well right now. Still, is it enough? It's a big lead for Navi, over 12k or over 10k gold, and that's about a 50% advantage for them. Pretty significant experience lead as well. They're not breaching high ground yet. What are the items or what are the levels that they need? Like, what is this team waiting for to try and push into the base?
I think they need Ravage to be used and a couple of pickoffs. That's really it. I don't think really it's item. When you play at Pudge and when you play at Clinkz, you just look for the pickoffs and basically use that 4v5 advantage to and go up the high ground. But if Complexity don't get pickoff, I really think on the long run, if they don't lose more kills, if they don't lose more gold, then they should be fine. But that's a big if. That's a big if. These gangs are just really smooth for the Radiant side.
Yeah, for the moment, Navi is content to farm and sort of play it safe. But look at the difference in these two teams. Navi up here is farming off on their own. Havos, 3 heroes positioned mid, parked there. But they've had heroes split up a little bit more. Complexity, they roam only in a pack. They're getting something. Occasionally, Jo leaves the pack. Oh, they want Havos. Where's the Sprout? Where's the detection? They don't have it. He's got a BKB recipe. Killing him now would slow down that BKB, but they're not going to find him. Just going to outmaneuver these guys, run circles around them, and escape. That's another thing that Clinkz really excels at, is so hard to gank off.
Yeah, I mean, if you catch him with detection, he is okay. I mean, especially without BKB, but he will soon have that BKB available. Complexity slow siege on the top lane using Morphling as a bait. You can see on the net worth chart right now, Morphling is not the highest person on the chart, which is somewhat strange because he's farming the entire game. But look at Havos strafe, fire arrows working on the tower. Tower taking some big damage. Edict also up, and the slow response from Complexity cost him about 1,000 HP on that tower. That was insane.
That's a little drive-by action for Navi, but they can keep on doing it, whether it's the tier 3 mid, whether it's the tier 2 bottom. That may be the answer. How do you break into the base? Just let Havos chip away, let Puppey run in. Maybe you'll lose a hero here or there, but most likely you'll get the tower down. And then defending becomes exponentially more difficult. They have stymied Dendi's aggression for the moment. Nobody's died to him recently. But it's still, the aftershocks are still being felt, right? Because the way they're playing is always 4 or 5 heroes. It's a patented Complexity smoke gank. These guys love it. Are they really going to go for the huge wraparound? That would be pure Complexity. No, they're just waiting on the wings, waiting on the sidelines. Dendi's going to strut in. Reveals. No, did he reveal anyone?
He revealed someone. They saw Morphling. A lot of pings right now. Perhaps Dendi would throw a blind hook in. They see the Venge as well, perhaps. Oh, Pudge. He's looking. The slow siege. Havos says, you got to come to us. We'll take your tower if you don't fight. And Complexity says, sure, you can take the tower. We don't really want to fight right now. We can't.
Yeah, they maybe want to try and push out mid and force Navi back, but really, are they going to be able to do it in time? I'm not so sure about that. For the moment, Navi is content to back. They really want to hold on to this tier 1 mid, maintain that map control. They know Roshan is a really important objective this game. Age is still up. TC has his Manta style right about now. No, he's like 500 gold away or so, maybe a little bit less. That will be a nice pickup, primarily because the Clinkz's Orchid, whenever he uses that silence, you can Manta out of it. That is a really big pickup for TC, and he's very close to it.
Then the item progression hasn't been too good. A Ogre Club does suggest a Black King Bar, although an Axe Scepter is a possible choice. Given that there's so many stuns, though, I think BKB has to be it. Can you imagine a BKB Pudge running in? I don't believe Morphling will do enough right-click damage at this point in the game to really make too much of a difference. So at this point, BKB is probably the best item choice for Dendi.
No, I mean, the other thing about the Meta style, though, is you can also split push with it. And that's really going to accelerate, or it's going to allow them to stall. And at this point for TC, how many times have we seen Complexity in this situation get off to a really poor start, be really far behind, but still hold on to the base? How many teams would have crumbled, their defense is just completely overrun, lose racks at 17 minutes? Dendi was basically beyond God, like the BKB, like you mentioned, coming out soon. They are still turtling well. Navi patrolling around, fishing for weaknesses, fishing for openings, not finding anything. Arsart feints in, thinks about going on TC, will be backing off, and Navi really pressing right now. They want to push so badly. Ward gets dropped. They are going to assassinate Fluff and Stuff's birds. Nope, BKB forced out from Avos, backing off now, and voicing that BKB charge would be a big win. TC has the haster running, is going to escape the BKB use for pretty much nothing at this point, or is it? Looks like the fight is over for the moment. Nice job there by Complexity. They forced out a BKB charge. Navi will back. At least going to wait for that to cool down to try again.
Yeah, the first BKB charge nonetheless, which lasts 10 seconds, that is going to be very, very important for Hannah Montana to wait out those BKB charge. And also, he's not that tanky at this point, so, you know, shading off a single second means you're shading out 2 auto attacks from Clinkz, and that's a big deal, because he's doing quite a bit. Complexity sees the BKBs down, they're going to try to push all mid, but Dendi Pudge, he's waiting across the ledge.
It's hard enough to fight when Dendi's chasing you, let alone when he gets to sit here, camp out, and try to set something up. Do they have vision on the high ground? I expect what's the ward, but Dendi's ready to hook. Push is over, folks. Time to back the hell up. They know it. Vacuum back in. Wall gets dropped. Gale as well. Poison Nova had him on Montana. Silence. Can they bring him down? He has the Ravage. Hits only on watch 2, actually. Arsart and Light of Heaven. Good damage coming out. They want Light of Heaven. Dendi comes in. Nice defensive sprout. Will it be enough? No. Jaya takes the fall as well. Aegis gets forced. TC waveform up to the high ground. Running for his life. Should be able to escape. But they waste the Aegis. They lose their Ravage. And the hook from Dendi. They're not done yet. God, they want TC bad. They could be pushing mid right now. And Boast and Arsart are one end of the world with one objective. The rest of Navi on the other with a completely different plan, which is kill TC. But seriously, man, they've already run from mid up to the secret shop, and they're not done yet. TC actually traps himself in. Very surprised he didn't just run the other way. He might take a fall now. This could be a big pickup. Wait for him in. Hook will find him. Hook pulls him back. Dendi with that global map hack of a braid. They get another kill. The chase is worth it. And while this is happening, Boast is still working on that tier 3 mid, damaging that tower, but goddamn Dendi played out of his mind, even for Dendi. TP in from jail. Sprout not going to be there. BKB turning it around. The mech gets popped, and another BKB charge. Really not accomplishing anything.
Oh, Arzar, he finds the Gale right now. That is going to force TP from J.O. That one hit took him down to 70 or 50%. They chase the Morphling around for such a long time, but they will be in front of the base in just about the same time they would have had if they didn't chase the Morphling. The Morphling does for a couple of seconds. How Dendi, I mean, he's got the BKB flying on the courier right now. The rack's fully exposed, and perhaps the first racks for Navi could claim this game. A hook on the Hannah Montana. Defensive swap, pretty good, but Clinkz on the range will get the kill. IX Micah has forfeited his life with that defensive swap. The Pudge on so many hero BKB gets popped. Dendi just right-clicking away with the raw damage. And I think this is Navi taking the melee racks and really perhaps the game as well. They have such a powerful lead. And Dendi already up to 2,500 in HP. Absolutely insane.
I don't see any options for Complexity. Even if they all respawn magically right now, they still lose a 5v5. They know it. They call it GG. Dendi gets his Pudge, and boy, does he deliver, man. Oh, boy. Normally I would say, you know, Pudge is not worth a ban, and yeah, if you ban him, you leave other heroes in the pool, but versus Navi, not banning this Pudge when it's Dendi on land with no delay and the ability he has, something you might have to think about.
Navi takes game number 1. We will be coming back for game number 2 momentarily. I know you guys want to see more epic Dota action, so don't go anywhere, guys. Navi takes game 1. Game 2 coming right now.
For anyone who's not familiar with us, I am LD, he is Luminous, both of us from DotaCommentaries.com. If you're enjoying our casting, please go ahead, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/LuminousInverse, twitter.com/LDDota. We will be casting a couple of more games today. You can see the schedule below on the stream. I believe, well, IG versus eHome got replaced. That's why we're casting Complexity versus Navi instead. But I believe the other 2 matches still hold. As far as I know, they are scheduled to happen. After this, they will be, both of them, 2-game series. Again, this is all just preliminary action, setting up the seeding for the winner's bracket, the loser's bracket, the knockout rounds coming up later this week. but nothing has been decided yet. So if you guys want to see more of our casting, follow the stream, follow us on Twitter. And if you want to support these teams, man, buy the pennant in-game, show them some love, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. The links are pretty easy to find. Just Google Complexity Dota, Navi Dota. Dendi has like 9,000 Twitter followers. I think at FTV International, he's probably going to have plenty, man. The way he's playing, he certainly deserves it. Both of these teams not really in the best position right now in their group, so this match has big implications for that seeding. Anyway, stay tuned. Game 2 coming up soon.